Hello and welcome. This is the first video where we explain the technique, the process involved in working with whatever emotional issue is going on with yourself, mental or emotional issue. So the process is known as tapping, EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. Its common name is tapping, and essentially what you're doing is you're tapping with your fingers of your hands on different acupressure points. Now these acupressure points are part of the acupuncture system, the meridian system, which is ancient Chinese medicine going back 4,000 or 5,000 years. So this is a very old process. They have found through years of looking into this that when you tap on these points, you release stress within your body. It also calms the mind because it calms the brain. There's a part of the brain called the amygdala, and it's the part of the brain that's involved in fight or flight. And when you have a negative emotional state going on within yourself, this part of this brain is very active. Whether that emotional state is fear, anger, stress, anxiety, whatever it is, this part of the brain is very active. And when you tap on these points, they have proven with certain scans that they have done that this part of the brain calms down. So the body goes back into, it goes from a fight or flight, anxiety kind of operational mode to a more peaceful mode. The chemicals in the brain change, the body feels totally different, and the stress is basically eliminated. The stress or anxiety or the emotional state is kind of overcome. Okay, that's a kind of way of explaining it. So when you tap on these acupuncture points, you're releasing stress in your body. And as you go through the routine, you do 2, 3, maybe 5 times, you find yourself just getting calmer and calmer and calmer. Okay, so first of all, I just show you the main points so you have an idea. So if you tap along with me, you see at the top of your head there, if you tap with all your fingers together and just tap, that's the top of the head. The next point is the start of the eyebrow, which is right at the bridge of the nose, at the top of the nose, touching the eyebrow. One finger is kind of touching the nose and one finger is touching the eyebrow. So at the very top of the nose and the very start of the eyebrow. So that's the eyebrow point. The next one is the side of the eye, and that is right up. It's not in the temple here. It's right up on the up against the bone there. Just be careful not to hit your eye. That's the next point. The next point is directly under the eye. So again, you're kind of touching off the nose fractionally. It's not out here. It's directly under the eye. And you can even do this side. You can do this. It's a very forgiving process. The next point is directly under the nose, right above the upper lip. Next point is the chin dimple, which is essentially just below the lower lip. The next point is the collarbone point. The collarbone point is there's a sort of dimple in your neck here, in your bone here, and it's 1 inch down and 1 inch across. So there's a point on both sides there. There's a clavicle bone going across here, and it's just essentially at the start of that bone just underneath. Okay, now this is the hardest one to kind of identify for people. So instead of being exactly accurate by doing that, I say to people, just use 2 or 3 fingers and just tap in around there, move your hands around. It only takes a second or 2 anyway, and you're bound to hit the point with that many fingers. So the next point is on the side of the body. It's straight down from under the armpit, and it's level with the nipple across. So for women, it's on the bra strap, and if you tap on the side of the body there, you may feel a sensation, but that's the side of the body, the underarm point. Okay, so this is the basic process. They are the tapping points. Also, before you do the tapping points, you have to use what's known as the setup. This is another point you tap here. This is known as the karate chop point. If you were to, take on a concrete block or something in a martial arts setting, this is the chopping point. Okay, the karate chop point. That's why it's called that. We don't recommend you attack a concrete block. It's not a good idea. So when you tap on this point here, you usually make an affirmation statement. So whatever is going on for you, depending on what video course you're doing, if it's stress, if it's anxiety, if it's fear, if it's anger, if it's sadness, if it's an unnamed emotion, if you just don't feel right and you want to just shift into a more neutral, more balanced state of being, you want to feel different, you say something like this: even though I have this stress, now it could be even though I have this anxiety, or even though I have these negative emotions, whatever word kind of encapsulates how you feel. So even though I have these negative emotions, I deeply and completely accept myself. Or you can say, it's okay and I accept myself. So you'd say this 3 times, something like, even though I have this anxiety, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this anxiety, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this anxiety, I deeply and completely accept myself. Or, it's okay and I accept myself. Some people have difficulty in accepting themselves, and that's understandable. We all have very different lives, and some lives can be more and more challenging depending on the situations we have to face. So these mental and emotional states are very real. By tapping on these points, you release the stress, the anxiety in your body. The body, once you tap on these points, like I said, it's like plunging pipes in if your kitchen sink is blocked, this energy is blocked within you. So when you tap on these points, it's like you're clearing the energy system. It's like clearing the sink in your home, in your bathroom. If it's clogged, you use a plunger. Here, when we tap on these points, we clear this energy that may be blocked within our meridian system, this energy system that flows throughout our body. And this energy is tied in with how you think and feel, your emotional state. So by clearing the energy, you let go of the stress that's going on in your body. These are stress release points. So this video is just a little explanation as to how the process works, where you tap, and how we're going to do it. So that's just to give you an idea. We're going to go further now in the next video and deal with your specific process. Thank you. Hello and welcome back. We're going to do a video now for releasing anger. Before we start, I want you to just pick a number between 0 and 10 as to what level of anger you have. Anger, frustration, whatever it is, within your person. How do you feel? If you have 10 out of 10 anger, you're very angry. If you're 4 or 5, you're kind of middling angry. So just take a note of what number out of 10 you would put yourself at this moment. Okay, so you're angry, you want to shift the way you feel, you want to let go of this anger, okay? This is what you do, just do this tapping process. Tap where I tap and say what I say. Say, even though I have this anger, it's okay and I accept myself. Even though I have this anger, it's okay and I accept myself. Say, even though I have this anger, it's okay and I accept myself. Tap on the top of your head, say this anger. Tap on the start of the eyebrow, say this anger. Tap on the side of the eye, say this anger. Under the eye, this anger. Under the nose, say this anger. Chin dimple, say this anger. Collarbone point, just keep moving your hands around here. Say this anger. Side of the body, say this anger. Take a deep breath and say, I choose peace. Deep breath. I choose peace. Round 2. Even though I still have some anger, it's okay and I accept myself. Even though I still have some anger, it's okay and I accept myself. Even though I still have some anger, it's okay and I accept myself. Tap top of the head. This remaining anger. 2 fingers. Start of the eyebrow. This remaining anger. Side of the eye. This remaining anger. Under the eye. This remaining anger. Say, I choose to release this remaining anger. Under the nose. I choose to release this remaining anger. Chin dimple. I choose to release this remaining anger. Collarbone point. I choose to release this remaining anger. Side of the body. I choose to release this remaining anger. Take a deep breath and say, I choose peace. One more round. Even though I still have some anger left, I choose to release this, and it's okay, and I accept myself. Say, even though I still have some anger left, it's okay, and I accept myself. And it's okay to release this. So even though I still have some anger left, it's okay, and I accept myself. And now you choose to release this. I choose to release this now. It's safe to release this now. Top of your head. I choose to release all remaining anger. Start at the eyebrow. I choose to release all this remaining anger. Side of the eye. I choose to release this from my body now. Under the eye. I choose to release this anger now. Under the nose. I choose to release this anger now. Chin dimple. I choose to release this anger now. Collarbone point. I choose to release this anger now. Side of the body. I choose to release this anger now. Take a deep breath and say, I choose peace. I choose peace. I want you to sit with your eyes closed for 20 seconds. Okay, so thank you. I want you to just see how you feel now and give yourself a number out of 10. Is your anger the same? For the majority of you, your anger will have gone from a higher number to a much lower number. If you still feel you have anger you want to work on right now, just keep doing this video. Start and do the three tapping sessions, 3, 3, 3. Just keep going. You may need to do 6, 9, 12 sessions. But it's like riding a bicycle. Once you do it regularly, your body and your subconscious mind knows and learns what you want to do. You are making a deliberate choice to release and let go of this anger. The more you do it, the quicker it works. And again, if you're suffering from anger in the workplace or anywhere in your life, you can go and do this tapping process, release this stress, this anxiety, this anger, whatever it is within you. You can go to the restroom, to the bathroom, you can go to a quiet park, you can sit on a bench, you can go and do it in a car, anywhere private you can do it, and bring yourself into a more peaceful state of mind. Okay, so thank you very much. Keep working on it. Hello and thank you for watching these videos. This is the final video where we just have a little bit of a talk about the process. As I've explained earlier on, you're releasing stress and anxiety or anger or whatever emotional state from your body. The tapping process helps to free up the energy in your energy system and bring you back into a place of flow, which is a place of calm and peace within yourself. This is a very positive mental and emotional place to be in. It's a nice mindset. These processes, depending on how they work for you, most people will see the benefits straight away. Some people need to do the process a few more times. You may need to do it maybe 5, 6 times, 10 times, 12 times. The more you do it, the easier it gets and the faster it works, to the point that you can use this process any time of the day, anywhere you're at. If you're stressed or you're anxious, you're feeling a negative emotion, just go into a toilet or a restroom, find a quiet place and work, go into nature, go sitting in your car or sitting at home, sitting in your kitchen. Just do the tapping process, release, change your emotional state, change the way you feel, bring yourself back into a calm, centered way of being. The tapping process does work. It is based on 5,000-year-old Chinese Asian acupuncture meridian based technologies that have proven themselves over the thousands of years. It's been streamlined now into this process. So for some people, your environment, there are other factors as well that can affect how you feel, and this is just kind of a general chat of information. Some people eat the wrong kind of foods. Some people don't exercise. Some people don't drink good water. Um, some people have lifestyle habits that are very detrimental to their mental and emotional state. So these are all things that you can look within yourself. I mean, are you eating the right type of foods? Are you getting enough exercise? Now, exercise is very, very powerful and very important. If you have an emotional state that's negative, simply walking in nature can be tremendously powerful. It helps to, again, with the tapping process, you're moving energy, you're clearing energy from maybe the clogged energy system. You're moving that energy, bringing in free or clear, pure energy comes in, the old energy leaves. If you live a very sedentary life where you don't do a lot of physical exercise, the tapping process can help you to change, move your emotion, your mind, your emotional state through the process of clearing and moving this energy. But also, if you get into nature, nature is a wonderful healer. Being in a natural environment helps to stimulate this energy flow and correct it in a very positive way too. So there are no one simple solution to many of life's challenges, but nature is very important. Getting into nature, if you can go for a walk, even leaving your home and go for a walk 4 or 5 days a week, 10, 15, 20 minute walk, as long as you've no physical reason why you can't do that. This is just a general advice. I'm not pretending to be a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. Generally speaking, if you eat good food, it's good for your health. If you get even light, moderate exercise in 3 to 5 days a week, that's good for your health. Your water should be clean water without chemicals. Your food should be as natural as possible and as little processed as possible. These are things that can affect you on a subtle level and on a mental and emotional level. And if you change these things, they can actually make a big difference in your life. Also, your home environment. Do you need to paint your house? Do you need to move your furniture? Do you need to make some changes? Personal relationships, that's something everybody needs to consider from time to time. And there are things you can do by changing your routine, by learning a process maybe like yoga or Tai Chi or meditation or chanting, or get into some process that you enjoy doing. That's a good bit of advice too. Another thing that struck me a few years ago, I got back into a sport that I had not played in 20 years. And it basically brought me back in time. And I felt as if I was 20 years younger. I hadn't done sport for a few years, and I went back into a childhood sport, really enjoyed it, and still play to this day on and off. But the point is, I always wanted to do it, and I got back into it. So many of us have dreams or wishes or things that we want to experience in life, and we keep putting them off. And I say to you, that can really have a very big effect on your mental and emotional state of well-being. So if there's something you want to do, take the time to consider making that happen for yourself. If there's a sport or an activity you used to love when you were a younger person, or when you were a child, or even last year or the year before, you felt good when you were doing it, do that again. Get back into that. Do what makes you happy. There's no point in struggling through life and not enjoying yourself. If you do whatever you can do to make yourself feel better, when you find you're in a point where your emotional state is too negative, you need to change. These are clear signs that you need to change the way you're living your life, the things you're choosing to spend your time on. Like I said, diet, exercise, good company, join a club, do a sport, get into nature. All of these things are very, very beneficial to your mental and emotional state. Why? The reason I'm bringing this information to you is that the whole tapping process is part of energy psychology. It's a whole new raft of techniques that are coming on board for people. And why are they so important? What has been recognized over the last many decades of this kind of flourishing of these energy techniques is that your inner self, your inner mental and emotional state of being, how you think and feel, as the medical profession call it, your psychosomatic parameters, whatever, how you think and feel has a big effect on your whole life. It affects your glandular system, your whole immune system. It's all mind, body, thoughts, emotions. It's all interconnected. It's all connected. And when one is out of sorts, it affects the rest. So having a good mental and emotional balance within yourself is very, very powerful and can really transform your life. If you don't spend the time to address the emotional and the mental stuff within yourself, how you're thinking and how you're feeling, if they're in a negative way, then you're doing yourself a disservice. Simply doing something like the tapping process, recognizing, okay, I am feeling very angry or I am feeling very sad, and just doing this tapping process for the anger, for the sadness, to release it, is very, very powerful. So like I say, the whole recognition that's happened and that's occurred over the last few decades is that we need to address this inner part of ourselves. Okay? The inner person is very, very powerful. How you think and feel has a huge effect on your health in the short term and the long term. This is what's been recognized. So energy psychology is kind of like the framework that is like the umbrella term for it. So I hope you like these videos, and I hope they encourage you to make the changes in your life that you need to do. Because anytime you're feeling, you come to a stress point in your life, whether it's brought you to this video, it's brought you to a point where you need to change something, and change is good. You cannot avoid change, and the tapping process will help you deal with any stress, anxiety, anger, tension, fear, sadness, whatever's going on for you in your life. Use the tapping process, and it'll make the journey forward a lot more easy. So thank you very much. I really appreciate you watching these videos. Please share them to any of your friends who you think may get some benefit from them. Okay, thank you very much.